I want to introduce myself. I'm Rodney. I'm actually the founder of Ameritext. We are a text message marketing company. And next to me is actually someone who's bringing a lot of experience in that real estate market into text message marketing with a program we've developed, and that is Curtis.
Yeah, Rodney, thank you. Hi, my name is Curtis Bernard. I'm a digital marketing specialist who's specializing now in website design and development for small business, for real estate agents, for just a general corporate world. My career spans over 30 years to include retail electronics, sales training, and real estate. And that was one of the things that really intrigued me about the program as I saw it. Text messaging, as we know, is probably here to stay, and it's growing over the last few years as it's been introduced. But the exciting part for me was how it was used in the real estate industry. And that's one of the things we're going to focus on this particular webinar, on how you could actually use the text messaging product to actually grow your business. And Ron is going to start to explain that. But in this particular session, what you'll learn.
And we're going to cover some things, and these are the things you are going to learn after we're done today. First of all, we're going to learn what is text message marketing. Some of us have an idea of what it is, but we're going to cover that more in detail. And why to use it. I mean, there's a time and place to use it, and there's times not to use it. And we're going to go over statistics from Forbes that shows what the demographics are in text marketing versus other marketing techniques out there. And of course, how it works. And we're going to show you the Agent Mobile website. This is a feature we've developed, and we're going to share that more in detail in this presentation. And we're going to also share with you the appropriate signage and kiosk. Now, I know this is probably something going to be a little different because we've developed a turnkey system which incorporates this. We're going to cover the buyer benefits as well as the homeowner benefits and cover those things and how they work in conjunction to help you get more listings. And of course, the biggest thing why you're here today is the benefits for yourself. And the value-added services that we actually bring to the actual text marketing program. And one of the most important things is how to market to your database. And what does it mean to truly have a turnkey system? And we're going to pull it all together at the end and show you what that turnkey system looks like. And once we're done, we're going to show you how to get everything started. Of course, what is text message marketing? This is actually the official definition of it. It is a permission-based text messaging to spread promotional messages, to receive text message specials, new product updates, or more information. Customers are usually required to opt in an automated system by texting a keyword to a shortcode. And one of the things that you see at the top there is permission-based. Now, all of our programs are permission-based. We do not text anyone without their permission. And this is important, which keeps everyone compliant, you as well as Ameritext. And of course, the biggest reason why text message marketing, which it's an immediate connection with your client. Now think about that. It's immediate. We all respond to text messages because it's easier to respond because it doesn't require us to pick up the phone to talk to anybody. Customers actually prefer it, and this statistic just came out. 70% of people wish they could have a text conversation with a business. That information comes from Ring Central. Now keep that in mind. Even you as a consumer, think about that. Would you rather have a text conversation with someone you're doing business with versus a long drawn out phone call, being put on hold, getting the information, getting transferred to another department? Just have one conversation in a text. Of course, with text marketing, it's very simple and cost effective. And we're going to share how effective that is here in a moment. And it's not a young market anymore. In the past, it was anyone in their teens and 20s was the market for texting. Now it's everyone. Grandparents stay in touch with grandchildren via text because that's how they communicate now, all the grandchildren. And with text marketing, you're going to higher response rate. And we're going to show you some of those response rates here in a moment. And the nice thing about it, you can reach all your clients at once. It's not hours and hours of phone calls and picking it up, dialing, where we can do one simple broadcast to reach everybody at once. Very eco-friendly because we're not printing up any marketing flyers, anything of the sort. It's direct to their mobile device. And I'm going to turn this over to Curtis because he's going to cover some great marketing statistics that just actually came in.
So one of the things I try to do when I'm advising a client on their website or their promotions is the statistics that's really important to know where to spend your dollars at. And as you can see, Forbes also does the same thing by providing really true statistics as to what's really happening out there. So if you take the old traditional marketing efforts of email, you realize that 20% of the emails are actually open within the first 3 hours, and that's only 20%. Another popular medium right now is Facebook. And you know, everybody here, I'm sure on the call has a Facebook account, and you're probably using it to actually market your real estate business. But only 12% of the posts are actually read. Now, Facebook has learned how to monetize their system with the little blue button called Boost Posts, right? You guys have all seen that. But what they want you to do is they want you to spend money to reach more of an audience. I don't have a problem with that, but you need to be aware that that's exactly what their ideas of you marketing on Facebook is. And, you know, when you talk about the target audience, you know, is everyone on Facebook your actual target audience? And that's something that you have to kind of decide based upon the house that you're listing or the commercial building that you're actually listing, whether or not that avenue is right for you. And of course, Twitter has been in the news lately a lot, but only 29% of tweets are actually read. Now, one of the reasons why this particular program is if you were in a meeting or if you were with a client in a closing, any of those aspects driving your car, we know that when that text notification goes off, you may or may not read it at the spot, but 98% of those text messages are actually read within the first 3 minutes. Yeah, all of you look at your text, your phone when that text comes in. I mean, that's really not that's not something that's a secret. You know, it's something that we know that actually going to do. Now, how that works.
Well, it's really simple, Curtis, because how it works, we assign a keyword, and this particular keyword is Home 55. And clients are required to text that word Home 55 to what's called a shortcode, which is 63975 on this example. So a potential client drives by, sees the yard sign, and wants to learn more about that property, especially if it's on a Sunday afternoon, and it's a little rainy, a little snowy out. No one's going to answer at the office. But the best part is they're going to text that, and they're going to get this following text message.
And then from a website's perspective, one of the things and the advantage that you have is that you actually get the agent's name. You're going to get the property address and what comes with that information. So if you set your particular system up to send out the different specs on the actual property, you're going to get the address, you're going to get the price, you're going to get the bed and bath count, you're going to get the link to the agent's mobile website, their phone number. And see, agents receive text alerts notifying them of the number opted in the property. So imagine this for just a second. You're at a meeting or at a restaurant with your family, and it's Sunday afternoon, and all of a sudden you receive a text. You're going to see that text, and when you get it, normal, it's going to say, look, somebody just looked at your property, they got the information. So number one, you know that you have some activity going on. But the thing that we want to encourage you to do is not to pick up the phone and call. What we want you to do now is with that number, you're going to receive that opt-in phone number. It's going to show you what property that they're interested in. And now what we recommend, instead of picking up the phone and call, just text them to introduce yourself. And the reason why you want to do that is because texting in the sales process with a qualified lead can actually increase your conversion over 100%. And that's from Velocify. That's where that information came from. 64% of those customers are likely to have a positive perception of companies that offer communication via text. Again, Harris Poll has done the research, so it's not something that we're coming up with, it's what's actually happening out there. And get this, 90% of leads prefer to be text compared to be called. Man, what an amazing statistic that is.
And of course, with that, we want you to expose, just like location, location, location. So now you've developed a text marketing program for your properties. Let's get that information out there by one, putting the signage in the front of the property, which we do offer a sign package in our turnkey solution, which we will share with you toward the end here. And as well as the signage, we also have a kiosk feature, which we're going to work in conjunction for all open houses, which this is going to make life a lot easier of capturing those leads. And we also encourage you to use it in all your marketing. Now, not just for the sign in the kiosk, but we all know that we advertise in the magazines, the flyers, the newspaper, the websites, even your social media ads. By sometimes just, I know a lot of people love sharing listings. Look at this property. But what about if you just watermarked your graphics with that keyword home 55, text it to 63975? What a great way to drive more traffic, and they don't even have to drive by the house. They can see it simply on Facebook. And of course, all the buy, sell, trade websites as well as magazines. This is a great tool to you want to build that database by giving yourself exposure.
Now, one of the things that, as building websites, most of the websites that most of the agents have, they're a desktop website. And if you had a good web developer, they actually made that particular website mobile friendly. And mobile friendly is one of the things that's really important, in a website. But what we do here is we've actually developed a website that's literally a mobile website. So things like the headshot um, comes up, personal contact information, the bio of your actual realtor. Now, here's one of the points that you should know. That bio and that beginning of the website is you, personally you, not the corporate website, because we want you to be able to brand yourself. So therefore, your bio is there, your MLS listings, the local schools, um, shopping areas, services, local medical, restaurants, and then of course the mortgage calculator. Now, let's go back for just a second because, again, what's important is when you talk about MLS property listings, I don't want you to think for a minute that if you don't have any listings, that you can't necessarily use this particular mobile website. Well, what we want you to do is to actually talk to some of the other agents in your office or pick listings that are within the scope of what you're trying to sell as your particular niche when it comes to marketing your site. So you can actually go get those MLS listings, have them uploaded on your site. By the way, we do that for you, and you'll learn more about that. Um, and you can actually put those listings up on yours. So when they text those home keywords, those listings actually are shown as well as your others. And then the listing map, which we'll go in detail on the next page.
With that listing map, it's going to list all your MLS listings, uh, with all the properties as well as the detailed information, um, all the images. So we actually extract all those images and actually put them on your mobile site. And that's great because we're driving traffic on those text messages, on those text alerts when they text that information to look at the listing on your mobile site. So we're not going to send them to your agency or the corporate site. We're going to send them to your site. And with that listing, it's going to have, of course, not only the images, the schools, the restaurants, the shopping, the nearby medical, and of course, the mortgage calculator, and the map.
Now, the map is cool because let's say in one particular area you have 2 or 3 listings that's either within the scope or it's pretty much nearby. So the map is going to show all of the properties that are actually listed. You're going to actually get a full interactive map. So if there was a property on there and you wanted to go visit it, then simply just click on the actual map itself. It'll open it up for driving directions on your actual site.
And as Curtis mentioned earlier, we also put a mortgage calculator on there because there's nothing more important to know how much this house is going to cost me monthly. So now the consumer can simply go in, plug in the cost, put in the down payment, as well as the term, and how often they want the payment. Is it bi-monthly? Is it once a month? Interest rate? Of course, it's going to populate the payment. And directly after that, then we also include all the contact information. Now, this is very vital, and I'll let Curtis say a little bit more about this.
Most of the time, when you have a desktop website that's actually converted over to a mobile-friendly website, just because it's compatible, it still eliminates a few really cool functions. So now, on a true mobile website, the phone number is actually hot. And what that simply means is all you got to do is hit it, and it'll dial the phone number out for you. Or when you want to send a text, you simply do the same thing. Send a text and then enter your message in there. Now, the email is a protected item. However, it is available there, so you kind of control what email address you want them to contact you with. And then, of course, if you have your personal website. Now, a lot of agents have begun to do that. They will build a personal website that separates them from the corporate website. Now, why would you do that? Well, the reason is because the way the search engine works is most big companies buy a lot of those positions. So if you were working for a specific real estate company and someone was trying to find you by searching for that company, a lot of the companies have thousands and thousands of agents across the U.S. How do you come up? Well, that's where it's really important to make sure that your particular mobile website is optimized based upon what it is that you do. And, we take care of that. We specialize in that here at Ameritext. Your social media, well, that's another buzzword that everyone's using. So whether it's Facebook, whether it's Twitter, whether it's LinkedIn, all of those avenues really, really are there for you to be actually be able to utilize to market your properties and to support you as a real estate agent specifically.
And of course, we need to cover the buyer benefits. What are the benefits the buyer is going to receive by being involved with text message marketing? Well, number one, they're going to get that information immediately on that property. So when they drive out on a Sunday afternoon or even on a holiday, when everything's closed, but they want some more information because they've been looking for a long time for that particular property in that particular school district, which is one of the biggest motivators for a lot of people buying properties in certain communities. So that information is going to be immediately obtained and sent directly to their mobile device. Of course, the upside, as we mentioned earlier, you're going to receive a text telling you, hey, guess what? This number just opted in on the property, and it's 3 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon. And of course, information is saved on the text history. Well, we all know about the spec sheets. People get the spec sheets. They're great. They fold them, tuck them in the console of the car. Someone washes the car, it's thrown away, or they can't find it. Most people don't delete their text history. And especially when they're sharing that with someone, a family member, a friend. Hey, guess what? I just drove by, looked at this property. Look at this. Because that link and that text is going directly back to your mobile site. So we're driving that traffic right back to your personal website we've developed for you. And of course, they don't have to search and look for you. So when they drive by that property, when they text that word in, they're getting the link directly sent to them. So they're not having, like Curtis mentioned, go out there and search for you, and in the big corporate world of all these Fortune 500 companies out there buying up all these keywords, you're going to send them the link directly. So they don't have to get the browser open on their phone to go looking for you. Plus, it's very simple. There's nothing simpler than a text message. And plus, they're going to connect faster to you because remember, you're going to get that alert notifying you, hey, guess what? I just opted in on this property. We're interested. Contact us. And as I mentioned, that spec sheet. You don't have to carry the spec sheet because it's in their text history. So that's very important because they're not going to delete their text messages because it doesn't take up memory in their phone, or apps and everything else like that. Obviously, take care of a lot of that memory. Most people don't like to download apps because it takes away from their storage for their photos and videos of the kids.
So all of you, of course, remember heading out to the homeowner that you got a message that they're interested in listing and selling their homes. So when you get there, it's now a matter of giving them the option of doing business with you or doing business with the last agent that they've been with or whomever they're going to do business with. Here's a tool, though, that's going to allow you to show the homeowner that you're going to be able to attract more qualified buyers, which gives you a more aggressive marketing position of their product. Most of the homeowners wants to know how you're going to make that happen. So very easily, you can show them how immediate contact with the prospective buyer, you're going to give them more exposure of their listing in real time. Now, what does that mean? Man, look, imagine somebody driving by the neighborhood. There's your house sign, and it's just your sign or the listings agent sign there. It's pretty hard to read from the distance on all the information, or you're going to start stacking riders on top of that. But what I used to really, really, I won't say hate because it's part of the product, right? You go in, you make these really beautiful flyers, you go out, you put them in the box right next to the sign, and then it rains. And most of the time they're okay, but most of the time they're not. A lot of times they get wet, they get soggy, or you have to go out every other day to check them. Or you might, I mean, if you had to ask the homeowner to do that for you, then again, you're not giving them 100% service. You're giving them, a smaller fraction because they got to participate. But again, it's exposure in real time, and then there's no foot traffic. Now, you as an agent suggested, well, I think you should cut the lawn. I think you should manicure it a little bit, make sure it's nice and green versus brown. Anything you can do to enhance the look of that home, because obviously we both know that the outside presentation of that home is very important in order for them to look at the inside. So you don't have the foot traffic on the lawn. If it rains or snows, you don't mess up the grass for them to actually get a spec sheet. Now, the agent benefit that I want to talk to you about for just a second is this. Again, it's a mobile site contain only agent information. And we were talking about real time. The alerts are there, right? And then because you're going to get more showings, you're going to get more buyers, you're going to get more people interested, you have a possibility of increasing your commissions just by taking an action with a real technological product that some of the other agents aren't using. Now, all website updates are done by Ameritext. So here's the thing. So you on a Saturday, Sunday open house, and you have a situation where you've had a few buyers through and the client is starting to want to actually make that house move. So they say to you, hey, you know what? Let's try dropping the list price by 2 grand. Well, normally, what do you have to do? You have to go back, you have to make these pretty flyers all over again, you got to adjust the price, you got to readjust it in the MLS, things like that. But here's why this is such a really good turnkey system for you, because as a realtor, that might be family time. That might be time that you don't want to take away by going back to the office, make these brochures, having them printing, more cost involved. Again, increased commissions also occurs when you reduce your cost. So by reducing your cost, you don't lose that money. Now, because America, uh, Ameritext does all of your broadcasting for you, you simply just send a text or give us a call, and we're going to change that price. So now it's real time. So all the marketing efforts that you're actually doing is all changed in a matter of minutes as opposed to days or weeks. And then I'll let Rodney share with you in a few seconds here on building your marketing database of future customers and why this is such a valuable tool to be able to do that.
Well, and by building that database, we also offer that kiosk feature, which is it's one of the newest things on the market, which it's real time, and you use it for your open houses, which I know Curtis loves the kiosk. He He thinks this is the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Well, the thing that used to bug me the most is that Monday morning was the problem because that sign-in sheet that we all used to use, the phone numbers was probably not as accurate as it should have been, or I couldn't read the email list. So when I saw the kiosk, I was like, oh my goodness, this is really, really going to revolutionize what open houses look like to the actual agent.
And with that instant opt-in, this kiosk works on Wi-Fi. It's real simple. You can create a hotspot with your phone to actually keep it connected, or if you work with the homeowner, you can probably use their local Wi-Fi there in the house. And this is a great way to build your database. Like Curtis mentioned, there's no more sign-in sheet. By them coming to the open house and entering their phone number, they're getting the spec sheet sent directly to their phone. There's no more paper carrying around. Papers end up in the yard or in the trash. You actually send the spec sheet digitally to them. And they get, of course, when they put that phone number in on the kiosk, they get that text instantly. They're not waiting 15, 20, 30 minutes, an hour to get it. They're going to get it as soon as they turn around and pick up the phone out of their pocket or purse. It's going to be there. Also, as Curtis mentioned, this is very eco-friendly. There's no more printing of the spec sheets, especially when you get that owner that says, hey, we're going to drop the price $3,000 or $5,000, and you have to run back to the office and go print 50 to 100 spec sheets. There's no more printing. It's all real-time text message with the specs sent in a text, which everyone keeps their text messages. They don't delete them. So that's the great thing about getting a text over carrying a piece of paper around.
And as I said earlier, it replaces that sign-in sheet, which is really, really cool for what you're using. Now, some of the uses that we're going to show you is how you can use it for your actual open house and marketing to your actually database. Remember when I told you about that Saturday afternoon about how instantly it happens? Well, that's what remotely updated means. It's done by Ameritext and it's just done remotely. You don't have to worry about it. I mean, you can check it to make sure that what we were supposed to do, we actually did, but no longer do you time consume to make that happen. You invest in this particular tool and it all happens for you. And that's, as a former real estate agent, what really, really excited me about this particular program.
And with everyone texting in home 55 to the short code, entering their phone number on the kiosk, now we've built a database. But we all know there can only be one buyer on that property. So therefore, it's going to leave 15, 20, 30, 50 possibly that was interested in that property that didn't make a purchase, but yet they're still in the market looking in that community or neighborhood. So now we got to take that data and go market to that database, because now you've built this nice huge funnel to go market to. And you can do it for open house announcements. Maybe you got another property down the street you're going to do an open house on. We're going to send a text out announcing the open house. Give them the property address as well as the link to your mobile website so they can click on that interactive map, which again opens up the navigation app on their phone, gives them driving directions directly.
You want to talk about instant? Let's suppose that house sells that day, and all of a sudden you realize, oh, this particular one isn't the same information. So next week you have another open house. So you take that particular sign out of that yard and you move it to your next home. And because it's remotely updated, it's automatically done for you. You just send us the MLS. We'll actually upload the pictures. We'll actually change the price. We'll actually put the spec sheet in. Is there a theme that you're hearing here where you don't have to do very much? Well, that's what excited me, is the fact that as a real estate agent, I could focus on the other aspects of my business. Of course, marketing is very important, but we're able to do that for you, and so that you don't have to spend as much time to do that.
And with the price reduction, also you want to announce any pending sales on that property. And this is really nice from a standpoint of, we want to create a sense of urgency to all your prospects that, hey, properties in this neighborhood just don't last long, or properties like this. So it creates more of a sense of urgency. So when you send out that next text, that broadcast to your database, maybe announcing a new listing or a new property that you just picked up, that it's similar, maybe it's in the same neighborhood, but we're going to send that out because we're going to create that urgency. Not only the sales, we also want to let them know when it's sold, because if it's sold, it's off the market. So we want to, again, create urgency. That's a very key word, urgent. We want them to move faster and announce new listings. And this is where we market to your database, because you've now built this database because you've created traffic on a very hot property. But now we also have those numbers to do announcements of new listings that you draw in, or maybe an open house.
Now, this particular tool, it's not used one time and then it's done. It's the type of product that you can use year after year after year after year. Right now, we're in a particular housing environment where if it's priced properly, if it's in the proper location, it doesn't last very long, whether it's a week or a month, but they do not last very long. And the inventory is going to fluctuate based upon the price range. Well, as a realtor, you want to get that out quickly. So a new listing comes out, you broadcast that out to your database. And keep in mind, these are databases that are being created for you. So once you allow Ameritext to know what your intentions are, it's done immediately. So it's not a wait in time. But again, like he said, your new listings are announced, your virtual tours are announced. So all of these things that come to you, they're done immediately there. So now here's the thing that you probably want to understand. Go to the other side. So we have created a complete turnkey marketing package. And let me just explain how that works, and I'll let Rodney get into the technical aspects of how it all comes together for you. But first, a prospective client drives up to the home that they're interested in looking at, and they simply text home 55 to 63975. Once that happens, they go to your open house, for example, and they can also utilize the kiosk by putting that number in, doing the same thing. But those two functions have then entered into your database, is where the beginning of your database actually starts. And then the mobile website, you're going to get the agent's name, the client's name, and then they're going to tell where the house was, the open house home, the address of the home, the spec sheets, and so on and so forth. But that information is now in your database. And as you can see with the slide there, there's your mobile website. So that's how it works. That's why we call it a turnkey system, because simply make a text, come to the website, and then begin to market to them with the complete turnkey system.
And the turnkey system is the first of its kind in the U.S. Like Curtis mentioned in the beginning, text message marketing's been around for many years, even in the real estate. And the biggest pitfall with most real estate agents who's tried it in the past is you sign up, you get the service, you get a login to a website, and you hear the words "good luck."
Yeah, that's
Don't
funny.
call us if you need us, because we're not going to help you. Well, we've taken the headache out of all that by actually creating this full turnkey system, because we know that that's the biggest pitfall of any professional trying to market themselves, whether it be a product or service, is I don't have time to be the marketing expert. I need help. And this is why we created this turnkey system, is to give you the help that actually you need to be a professional in your industry. So we actually focus on that one thing and do that one thing extremely well. And we've created a couple real estate marketing plans. We have two plans. We have a 10 listing plan and a 20 listing plan. Now, the big difference between the two, obviously, is 10 listings, but also 7,000 messages. Because we know as you build your listings and have more listings, you're getting more opt-ins on those properties, and you're building a database a lot quicker with more people opting in on properties. So we recognize there's going to be a little more volume of messages that need to go out for updates on those properties. Included with your turnkey package, autoresponders. This is very important from a standpoint of they opt in, they automatically get that response. You automatically get that response of what phone number just opted in on that property. Also, the kiosk management. Like Curtis mentioned before, you're doing an open house. You just need to tell us, notify us, text, email, or through our portal, which we'll provide to you upon completion of the registration, to give us the updates on the properties. and it's real time. We can get it done within 24 hours. Uh, with that, you're also going to get unlimited broadcasting. So if you want to send 10 messages in that week about that property because there's so much activity on it, price reductions, sale pending, whatever it may be, we will handle it. So if you need to do 15 broadcasts a day on 20 of your properties, we'll do it. So you do have that feature where a lot of companies cap you on what you can send and what you can't send. We don't handcuff you there. We also provide what's called backup short codes. The short codes is that code 63975. That's a short code. For any reason, that short code should go down on any service, whether it be Sprint, T-Mobile, Verizon, AT&T, all of the carriers. If one carrier should have an error where that code's not being broadcasted, which we do get alerted at the corporate level, and if that should happen, we can still do all your broadcasts on what's called a backup code. So we know all your messages are getting out to all your prospective clients. And with that turnkey system, account management. This is where we take everything out of your hands, handle everything for you. And now what I mean everything, I mean everything. Because we even, with our turnkey system, we do offer signage. We customize all the signs, very large bold print, great visibility on it. And it's also a part of our turnkey package, which is in the portal when you decide to sign up today. Custom property keywords, so you don't have to do any of this. So we're not giving you that login. Say go in, create all your keywords. Ameritext actually assigns your 10 or 20 keywords on your properties. The only thing we ask you to do when you complete registration is provide us with your MLS listings, and the work begins on our end after that. We do have a one-time registration fee, which sets up your mobile site, your keywords, and everything on the back office so we can get you started. And with our 10 listing plan, our silver plan, it's $397 a month. Very inexpensive to have a marketing team fully running your full turnkey system. And with the 20, just for a few hundred more, you've got the gold at $597.
Now, in summation of the program that we talked about today, these rates that we're talking about is actually inexpensive. If you did quick math, you'd realize that about $5,000 gets you 1 year of marketing. And so, I know you spend more than that to marketing, but you're using several different avenues to be able to market in. And I'm more than certain that over the years, you guys have been successful. You figure out exactly what works and you do a lot of it. And it was, again, time consuming. So the aspect of the tool is to take that effort out of your hands, but also give you more of an ability to actually market your properties. And like I said, it's very turnkey, so it's all done for you. And again, that's really and truly what was exciting for me. There's several payment options that you'll be able to use to be able to get started with your program. And Rodney's going to put a link in the chat room that you can actually go to get to the registration page if this is something that you actually are going to be interested in. And so he'll go ahead and he'll put that in the chat room. But as I said, I was really, really, really excited about it because, number one, it created an avenue for me to be able to do the marketing efforts as a real estate agent quite simply, and to be able to do that. And most of you, whether it's commercial real estate that you're dealing with or whether it's residential real estate that you're dealing with, it's really important that you're able to get around the efforts and make it pretty easy for you to actually do. And so, as I said, I'll turn it back over to Ronnie to close us out. And hopefully there's some information here that you like. And if you have any questions, you feel free to send them to us in the chat room, or feel free to just email the corporate company directly or actually call. But Rodney, I'll go over the rest of the payments that optional for you.
Yeah, as Curtis mentioned before, we accept all major credit cards, and we'll set you up on reoccurring billing, so you don't have to remind you to send a check or anything. So if you decide you want to do check, we offer e-check services. And the nice thing is we just ACH your account. There's no portals you have to log in all the time. Once we set up your payment, it just reoccurs monthly. With the sign-up sheet and the link you'll see in the chat box there, that actually will take you directly to our sign-up page. Once you complete the sign-up page, then you're going to be redirected to your MLS listing sheets, which we're going to get from you, so you can provide us with your 10 or 20, depending on if you want with silver or gold, to get you set up so we can start plugging in all your MLS listings into your mobile site. And you also see on your sign-up page, we're going to ask for all your contact information, any headshots you have, so you can attach any images, so we can get those in, and so we can create a nice, clean, professional mobile website for you. Which I know we covered a lot of information in the last 45 minutes, and if anyone's had any questions after the webinar here, you can text direct any questions to 314-833-TEXT. That's 314-833-TEXT. That's TEXT, or is it 8938? I always use text, so it's 314-833-TEXT. You can text any questions, or if you got any, of course we prefer text. Of course, that's why we offer the text. So we just have you text, or if you just want to pick up the phone and call the number, you're more than welcome to even call that number, and we will answer. So with that being said, Curtis, you have anything else?
No, I think it was good. And if there's any questions, like he said, just let us know. I'm really excited. We've got real estate agents all throughout the United States that's actually beginning to use the program. And so far, we're starting to see some success out there with it. And so maybe you're going to be next to kind of grow your business through one of the more popular forms of technology, which is text message marketing.
All right. Well, I thank everyone for joining us. And again, any questions, just go ahead and text 314-833-TEXT, and we'll be glad to answer those for you and get a quick reply for you. So again, thanks everyone. And if you, like I said, just give us a call or a text, and we'll be glad to get that taken care of. I hope everyone has a good evening. We're in the Central Time Zone, so we're ready to call it a day. And we look forward to working with everyone on this webinar with us. Have a good evening.